Old age is childhood. A grandfather took his 3-year-old grandson to the park. The grandson sat between his grandfather's knees and looked around him with wonderment, pointing at everything he saw. When he pointed at the roses, the grandfather said, "Those are roses, they are red." When he pointed towards the sky, the grandfather said, "That's the sky, it's blue." Then a crow flew down from the top of a tree and landed in the grass before them. The boy pointed at the crow, and the grandfather said, "That's a crow, it's black." Soon the crow flew away, and the boy was sad. But then another crow landed near their feet. "Look, Dada, crow," the boy said excitedly, pointing at the crow. "Yes, child, a crow," the grandfather replied. The crow continued to peck in the grass. "Look, Dada, crow," the boy pointed again at the crow. "Yes, child, a crow," the grandfather replied with a smile. The crow pecked on, hopping closer when they were sitting. "Look, Dada, crow," the boy said again, his fingers pointing at the bird. "Yes, child, a crow," the grandfather said, nodding and smiling. All afternoon, whenever the child saw a crow, he exclaimed, "Look, Dada, crow," and the grandfather acknowledged it patiently. Eventually, the sun began to set and all the crows flew away. The grandfather took his grandson by the hand and they both walked home. 30 years passed. Now the grandfather was 90 years old and the boy an adult. He lived away from his parents, had a rewarding career and a successful marriage. Occasionally he came home to visit his parents and his old grandfather, and whenever he came he spent a few minutes on the terrace where his grandfather often sat in a wheelchair, his mind wandering. One day when the young man was visiting his grandfather, a crow landed on the parapet. "Look, son, a crow," said the grandfather. "Yes, Dada, that's crow for sure." The crow took flight briefly and then landed back on the parapet. "Look, son, a crow," the grandfather said. "It's sure," the young man affirmed. Once again the crow fluttered its black wings and took off and then landed in the terrace at the feet. "Look, son, crow," the old man said. "I know it's a crow, Dada. I can see it. You don't have to keep repeating it," the young man snapped. The grandfather looked at his grandson till a sad smile said, "When you were 3, I listened to you say crow all the afternoon." It's a folk tale from Punjab.